are some of these old people are very grumpy, and whenever they have an objection, basically an objection is just a smokescreen. It's just a BS answer of why they don't want to talk to you or do business with you. But what I'm going to arm you with is starting now. This is a video that is you're going to be able to go back to. Is the objections, the rebuttals to all the main objections that you'll get. So I'm sure if you've called anybody before, you've or had to sell anything or set an appointment, you've definitely come across objections. Like I mentioned, all it is just a smoke screen. All a no means is maybe. And so basically, this is the story here. We're going to go over objections today. After we talk a little bit about Medicare 101, just a little Medicare 101. A couple of you guys might know a little bit of this stuff already, but I'm just going to give you a quick refresher course. Remember, this will be in a video form afterwards, so you will be able to watch this after, but feel free to take any kind of notes that might help you. So I'm not going to go through the whole Medicare thing and how it works and what it is, but what I will tell you is what are the most important things that you will need to know while you're on the phone. So Medicare is not, this is not something you need on the phone, but basically it was started in 1972. It's a government program, and when seniors start it at age 65, they get 80% of all of their hospital and doctor bills covered. So all of their hospital and doctor bills are covered up to 80%. And so how we help them is they buy what's called a Medicare supplement plan. When they buy these Medicare supplement plans, they can go to any doctor or hospital in the country, the United States, and they have 100% coverage. So it's very easy to understand that side of it. Medicare only covers 80% of their bills. If they don't have a supplement plan, they likely have like an employer plan that supplements it or vice versa. So we will get to that in a second. So real quick, I want to talk about Medicare, the basics, really quickly, just very quickly. There are three main popular Medicare supplements that supplement the 20% that Medicare doesn't cover. There's F, G, and N. They all work differently, and we will get into that later. But on these F, G, and N plans, people pay a monthly rate each month for an F or a G or an N, and they pay for that insurance to supplement the remaining 20% of what Medicare does not cover for their health, for their hospital and their doctor bills. So, for example, like a Plan F, if you took that to a doctor or hospital, any doctor or hospital in the country, they get 100% coverage. So that's why they like it, and that's why a lot of seniors have it. It turns out a lot of seniors are paying way the heck too much for these plans. The rates go up year after year, and something that these people are used to hearing about is rate increases on these plans. And what happens is, if someone is on the same plan for 10, 15 years, you'll talk to somebody who is 76 or 81 or whatever, and they're paying $350, $400 a month in US dollars for a Medicare supplement plan, and they only make, $1,000 a month. So almost half of their costs are going to medical bills. So when we talk about lowering their rate, it's a really big deal because they have to have this insurance, and they see the rates going up, but they don't know what to do about it. So that's where we come in. So real quick, rate increases on Medicare supplements. This is something that happens every year. Every year there's one or two increases on everybody's F plan or G plan or N plan. If somebody has an F plan, which 80% of the people that you talk to, they will have an F plan. If they do have that, they are getting very, very, very high rate increases. That plan is a bad, bad plan. You don't need to say that, but you can just know that if someone says Plan F, we can really freaking help them. And that's the majority of the people you'll talk to. So you'll talk to somebody, if they tell you what plan they have, they say Plan F, then your first question should be, oh, well, have you seen the rates go up on that lately? How long have you had the plan? You've probably seen the rates go up. And so that right there establishes an opening for us. So talking about the rates going up on the existing coverage they already have is important. It's very important. Now, I know healthcare is a lot different in the Philippines than it is in the United States. We won't get into the minor details of it, but basically, if somebody has a health insurance policy in the United States, they're usually different. And it's the same with the Philippines. It's usually different over there, each health insurance policy. But with seniors in the United States, seniors on Medicare, they're all the same. So, for example, this is what's called standardization. So this is another term that I want you guys to know is standardized or standardization or federally regulated. That's three different ways to say the same thing. Basically what that means is there are numerous amounts of insurance companies that are allowed to offer the exact same coverage. So if you guys can really quick for me, on your piece of paper or any notes, write down Plan F, and then underneath that, write down 35. And that means that there are 35 different companies in each state offering the exact same Plan F coverage. So Plan F is going to be the same whether you're in Alaska, California, LA, New York, Chicago. Plan F works the same exact way, whether it's with Mutual of Omaha or Aetna. And this is our key pitch, because whenever you talk to them in the objections, the first thing they're going to say is, I don't want to change. And you have to understand, no ma'am, we don't want you to change. A Plan F is a Plan F no matter which company you have it with. They are all standardized. So all we're simply trying to do, ma'am, since we represent 35 companies in the state that offer the same Plan F coverage, we just want to show you every company that offers the same coverage you currently enjoy for different rates. And so that's when we start striking a chord. Usually when they say, oh, I have Aetna, I'll say, perfect. We represent Aetna too. We also represent 34 other companies that offer the same coverage you currently have for different rates. And so really quick, I want to read something word for word for you. On Medicare's website, I always break this out if somebody doesn't believe me. So like these seniors, for example, if they don't believe me, what I'll do is I'll say, give me your email address, I'll send this to you in writing. And basically what I send them is a Medicare.gov, and it says, there can be big differences in premiums that insurance companies charge for exactly the same coverage. As you shop for a Medicare supplement policy, be sure you are comparing the same Medicare supplement policy. For example, compare Plan A from one company with Plan A from another company. Each insurance company sets its own premiums. Do you guys understand how Plan F is the same along insurance companies now? Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the first thing I want to drill down. So what standardization means is if you encounter somebody that has a Medicare supplement plan of any letter, we can find them that same letter that they're already used to. They already know how these plans work. And you really don't even need to know how the plans work to be able to tell them, hey lady, we can get you that same, for lack of better words, we can get you the same shit you already have for a lower monthly rate. And once they listen and hear that from you, that's when we're in business. That's when we're saving people $80 a month, $900 a year on the same coverage they already have, and that's when we're making deals. So this is the first thing I wanted to get into today, because this pretty much covers all of the rebuttals. So as long as you know that standardization means that a Plan F is a Plan F with any company you have, whether it's Aetna, Cigna, Mutual of Omaha, AARP, Blue Cross. Those are just some of the names you'll hear from these seniors. If they have Plan F, I 100% promise you I can get them the same Plan F that they have for a lower rate. So if they have it, they have an agent that got it for them, and they likely have not heard from that agent. So what this means is if you find someone with Plan F, they have had a lot of rate increases and their rate has gone up. So it's likely that we can get them a lower rate since their rates have gone up. Do you guys kind of see how that's tying together now?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any confusion on this at all so far? Any questions so far on this?
None so far.
Okay. And I can slow down at any time. So real quick, just in a brief sentence, Medicare covers 100% of medical bills. The supplement plans have high rate increases each year. If you don't have someone shopping that, you could be paying too much. And this is a real thing. So if someone's had a Plan F and you ask them, oh, okay, how long have you had that Plan F? Oh, 3 or 4 years. Okay, when was the last time you heard from your agent? Oh, I hadn't heard from them since. I'm pretty good with my coverage. Well, sir, there's 35 companies offering the same coverage that you have now for different rates. We can tell you here in about 5 seconds if you're paying too much, or if we can find the same coverage for a lower rate. So I don't want to repeat myself too much, but that's basically the story there with standardization. All seniors, they try to make it as easy as possible for them to understand. So they use little letters like that, like F, G, and N. Those are the only three that you're going to come across. And if you find somebody that has, for example, an N, it works the same way. An N is the same as an N with any company. Now, an N isn't the same thing as an F, of course, and a G isn't the same thing as an F. But, for example, a G with one company is the same as a G with the other company. Down the road in future training, I will tell you the difference between F, G, and N. But right now, all that's important for you to understand is there are 35 companies offering each three of those plans for different rates. So we're going to move on from that. Now, have any of you ladies ever heard of what's called Medicare Advantage?
Yes.
Okay. Faith, have you ever heard of Medicare Advantage?
Yes.
Okay. Basically, what Medicare Advantage is, it's the opposite of a Medicare supplement. I mentioned how you have 100% coverage with Medicare and Medicare supplement plans. With Medicare Advantage, what happens is these seniors are tricked into giving up their rights to Medicare to a private insurance company, and they manage the coverage. So it's entirely different than Medicare supplement plans. We do not work with these people. If you identify somebody that says, I have Humana Gold, I have AARP Complete, I have United Advantage, Medicare Advantage, that is what's called Medicare Advantage. If you encounter that person, I would encourage you to hang up the phone and don't waste your time anymore on those people. There is a difference between this, and I obviously don't want you to hang up on the wrong person, so we're going to talk about the difference real quick so that you're A, not wasting your time, and B, you can articulate yourself effectively. So here's the difference. When you're talking to somebody, sometimes they will not know if they have a Medicare supplement or Medicare Advantage. So here is the only question. If you're not sure, say if they say, yes, I have a supplement, and you say, okay, what plan letter do you have, F, G, or N? They'll say, I don't know, I really am unsure. So my next question is, okay, in my brain I'm thinking, I need to find out if they have a Medicare Advantage, because if they do, I cannot help them. So I say, is your drug coverage infused or put together or packaged together with your health coverage? Is your drug coverage packaged together with your health coverage? If they say yes, they will know yes to the answer to that question, and then you can hang up the phone. If they say no, they're separate, then it's a supplement. So another question you could ask, is your drug plan separate from your health insurance plan? If it's separate, that's a supplement and we can help them. If it is not separate and it is combined with the same company, it is a Medicare Advantage. They're usually conveniently named Complete or Gold, or basically they try to dress up and put makeup on a pig. They call it Humana Gold, even though it should be called Humana Crap. They call it AARP Complete, but it really should be called AARP Garbage because they don't cover anything. And unfortunately, these seniors get trapped in these plans and they cannot switch until a certain period of time. Right now, we are not in that period of time, so unfortunately, there's no way that we can help these seniors as of today. We will be able to help them later on in the year, but as of today, if you get somebody that has their drug coverage infused into their health, we cannot help them. Now, is there any questions on the difference between Advantage and supplements, who we can help and who we cannot? Is there any questions?
No, it's good. It's clear.
It's clear? Okay. Is that clear to you, Wednesday? Are you good there?
Yes.
Okay. If anybody's unsure, there are no stupid questions. There are no dumb questions. So please feel free to stop me, okay? So, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover with Medicare. Basically, this is a very, very easy niche to understand. I think it's a lot easier than the turning 65s, because when you're talking to turning 65 people, you're convincing them to buy something. When you're talking to these people, you're convincing them to lower their rate on the same thing they already have. It's kind of like if somebody came up to your house and said, hey, your power bill's $50 a month. I can get your power bill down to $20 per month if I did it with solar. Solar's going to work the same way, but it's newer and it works the same way, $20 a month. It's the same power. You still flip the light switch on the same way. You just lower the rate. And that's why I like this, because we're actually helping people. So we're going to move on to some of these objections. Does anybody have any questions, any off-the-wall questions, off-topic questions about Medicare or how Medicare works? Because I know Medicare back and front. Does anybody have any Medicare related questions?
None for me.
Okay. Is there
Not as of the
anything,
moment.
Christina? Is there anything you think I need to include there about Medicare that I didn't go over?
No, you covered everything that they need to know.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to overload and I didn't want to
Ah.
underload. So if you think that we're good, then we will move on. I just want to make sure you think we've gotten everything covered because she has been through this process before. So alrighty, the number one objection you're going to get is, I don't want to change, I'm fine. So we're going to go through a list of objections. I'm going to tell you how I handle them and the best way for you to handle them. The first thing you want to do whenever somebody says something nasty or mean to you, you do what's called cushioning the objection. Cushioning the objection. You give what's called a cushion. What that means is when they say, I don't want to change, I'm fine, you immediately respond with, oh, we don't want you to change. You're agreeing with them, even though you're not agreeing with them, if that makes sense. So basically, they're going to come at you with something angry sounding, with some smokescreen. What we want to do is easily isolate this objection by doing this. Oh, we don't want you to change, I understand. Or, I understand. Or, I understand is the best objection cushion you could possibly give. If somebody gives you anything, saying I understand is, you guys already know, is the best thing you could possibly say. And I heard a lot of you say it last night during the script run through. So I understand, and we don't want you to change either. That's what I would say. So I understand, we don't want you to change either. All we're simply showing is the exact same coverage for a lower rate. So ma'am, if you have Plan F, we can simply show you the same coverage you're happy with for a lower rate. So to put that in very a lot more shorter terms, I don't want to change, I'm fine. I understand, ma'am, we don't want you to change either. In fact, you have the best plan that's out there. We just want to show you that same plan for a lower rate. That's it. That's fucking it. Excuse my language, but that is it. That is it. So all right. So the next one, who are you calling with? They'll say, and so you'll repeat what you said in the beginning because obviously they're too stupid to hear you in the beginning say, I'm calling with Cornerstone Senior Savings or Cornerstone Medicare Savings. I'm calling with Cornerstone Medicare Savings. Okay, so that's the first thing you'll say. So, who are you calling with? You'll come back with, I'm calling with Cornerstone Medicare Savings, and we represent Blue Cross, AARP, Aetna, and every company in the state that offers the same plan that you currently have now, sir. All our job here is today is to find you the same plan for a lower rate. Look, it's the same message here. So we get them back on topic. What we're doing is adding what's called credibility to the conversation. So when they say, who are you calling with? You say, oh, we're calling with Cornerstone Medicare Savings. We represent Aetna, AARP, Blue Cross, and every company in the state that offers the same coverage you're currently happy with. We're just giving you a call today to help you lower your current rate on the same plan you already have. Now, if you have 5 to 10 minutes, and then you get into your question. So usually when they come up with objections like this and you answer it as effectively as I'm doing it, you can get right back into saying, all right, now that you know this, blah, 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 and you can ask the question to get them on the appointment. So anyways, who are you calling with? We want to drop some insurance company names. We want to go back to our name, and then we want to list 3 insurance company names. So that can be AARP, that can be Blue Cross, that can be Aetna, that can be Mutual of Omaha, that can be Cigna. Any of the ones that I mentioned, pick 3 and go with it. Don't be unsure. That's the best way to handle that objection. Who are you calling with? And then you rattle off 3 names of insurance companies they've heard of before. The objection will fall down, and they will immediately feel stupid, and you will regain the upper hand in the conversation. So let's move ahead. Some people you'll talk to, we need to weed out. Some people are not the people that we want to work with. This is something that is still a big part of your job. Some people will respond and say, oh, honey, that's fine. I got my teacher retirement. Or they'll say they have an employer-sponsored plan. Or they'll say they have a state plan. Or they'll say they have a federal plan. If they work for the government, if they have an employer-sponsored plan, if they have anything else besides a Medicare supplement plan, there is nothing we can do for these folks. I'm sorry to tell you. So if somebody comes up and says, oh, I'm sorry, honey, I got teacher retirement, or I got federal Blue Cross, or I got the state employee, or I got the employer sponsor. My husband, he worked for GM Motors. They'll tell you all about it, and none of it means anything to you. My next question for them is, okay, does that plan cover dental, vision, and hearing? Because Medicare doesn't. And then if they say, yes, it does, hang up. If they say, no, it doesn't, then just say, okay, well, our agent can give you a quick 5-10 minute call. He'll be able to give you the information about dental, vision, hearing, since, Medicare doesn't cover it. And that's it. So if someone's on a teacher retirement plan, a state plan, a federal plan, that's basically any government worker, or if they're a former employee of a large company that provides their health insurance for them, we will not be doing business with them. So remember, we want to help people with Medicare supplement plans that supplement what Medicare doesn't cover. These are employer-sponsored plans that we're talking about that we don't help with. We don't help with government-sponsored plans. Those are entirely different, and they do not fall under what's called the normal standardization rules. For example, a Plan F Medicare supplement is not the same as their teacher retirement, their employer-sponsored plan, etc. We want to help people that already have Plan F, that know how Plan F works, because we can show them the same thing for a low rate. So anyways, I'm repeating myself, but I want you to know, employee, government, we're good to go with them. Just hang up the phone. If they don't have, if it doesn't cover dental. If it does cover dental, hang up the phone. If it doesn't cover dental, then set them up. But most of these government plans will cover dental, vision, and hearing. So just expect for them to say that. Sometimes they'll have a separate plan. If they have a separate plan, just write it down and make it in the note, and we'll get back on them. So these people we're not looking to do a lot of business with at all. Occasionally I'll write a dental plan on a teacher because they don't have dental with their teacher plan, but that is very, very, very uncommon. So next one they'll say is, they'll say, I'm good with my plan. I'm good with my plan. I'm good with my plan. Christina, what do you think we should say to somebody who says that they are good with their plan?
Well, that's great that you're happy with the plan that you have, but we could show you the same exact plan that you have right now for much lower rate.
There you go. Done. So you guys see how it works? She cushioned the objection. She said, oh, that's great that you're happy with your plan now, sir. That's great. Good. Like we're agreeing with them. And once we agree with them slightly like that, it does something in human psychology that allows them to listen to the next part that you're saying. So if you say, "Oh, that's great. I'm happy with your plan. I know I'm happy that you're happy with your plan," or so whatever she just said, but we can show you that same plan that you're happy with, the same coverage that you're happy with for a lower rate. When you agree with them in the first part of the sentence and make them feel good about themselves, they will listen to you in the second part of the sentence, and you will be able to proceed further along in the sales process. Does that make sense, the psychology of how I explained that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Christina had a great example. Great example, Christina. That was perfect. By the book.
Thank you.
Now, a lot of times we'll talk to really dumb people who are from the mountains, or they're out from the plains. They don't talk to a lot of people, so they don't really know a lot of etiquette on the phone. So these people will say, I don't need any more insurance. And likely these people will be the ones that will say, I don't need any more insurance, and they'll likely hang up on you. So if this happens, it kind of makes me mad for a second. Take a deep breath and just get on to the next call. Don't let, one bad call, someone being a jerk to you, mess up the next call, because every opportunity is an opportunity to help somebody, not to sell somebody. So if someone says, I don't need any more insurance, what I always try to say before they hang up is, sir, we're not trying to give you any more insurance. We're trying to save you on the same coverage you already have. That's it. So you guys see this, the objections are pretty much all the same thing. Because we're not trying to sell them anything, but everybody's so sensitive and scared that we are trying to sell them something. So anyways, moving on to some harder ones. I have someone that already takes care of that, someone will say. I have an agent already. Now this is a particularly tough one. This is one that even we have a problem with sometimes, but it is not inovercomable. Basically what you can say to them if they say, I have someone that takes care of it already, you can say a number of things. What I say to them is, when's the last time you heard from them? And they'll be like, a few years ago. And then you can say, Well, if you hadn't heard from them the past few years, I'm sure your rate's gone up. It wouldn't hurt to, take 5 seconds to see if we can find the same coverage for a lower rate. There's no obligation. Our service is free.
Yeah.
So, if you haven't heard from your agent in the past, you said 3 years? And they'll say, yeah, that's right. 3 years. Oh my gosh, there's been a ton of increases in the past 3 years. Well, how about this? I'll set up a call with one of our licensed Medicare specialists. It'll only take 5 minutes, and he'll be able to see if we can find the same Plan F coverage that you're happy with, that you've had for 5 years for a lower rate. And that's usually how you can get past the agent thing.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of them, no, I'll save that one. That's what we'll do for Plan F. So if Plan F,
Give 'em one.
if they have an agent, we just want you to ask, when was the last time you heard from that agent? Because it basically puts the pressure back on them when they're trying to put the pressure back on you. And if you put the pressure back on them, they'll either hang up or they'll engage you. And more than likely, if you ask them when was the last time you heard from their agent, they'll go, oh gosh, I don't know. And then they're like, wow, you can't even remember the last time you heard from them? Well, these rates go up every single year, ma'am. And if you don't have a Medicare specialist shopping your rates each year, making sure you're not paying too much, then you could be paying, could be overpaying. So basically that's how you get into it. It's an easy, overcomable one. Not a lot of people are going to say this, but like 10 out of 100 will. So that's why I'm including this. So when was the last time you heard from your agent? I'm so sure that if you say that, they will say not forever. There are no good agents out there. No good agents. None of these agents are good. What I do is, I've been doing this for 2.5 years. I call my clients year after year and follow up and say, hey, we talked last year. Hey, are you still happy with your plan? Perfect. Hey, well, I can save you another $8 this year. Go ahead and get your credit card out, and we're going to lower your rate again this year. And they're always so happy, right? But that's too much work for a lot of these agents. So they leave these seniors out to dry and out to figure it out for themselves. And if they get sick, then they can't switch. And their rate's going up so high. So it's an obligation, it's a duty to these seniors that we have to do to keep following up year after year. And these agents just don't do it. They're lazy as hell. So if you ladies can just ask them, when was the last time you heard from your agent? I'm confident you'll get the answer that you're looking for, and you will be able to advance in the conversation. Now, Medicaid. Does anybody know the difference between Medicaid and Medicare? This is for anybody.
I think, from what we learned before, Medicaid is like for the ones who can't afford to buy premiums. It's like they're given a subsidy from the government,
Yes.
so we can help them. Yeah.
Yes. Perfect. So if someone's on Medicaid, unfortunately, we cannot help them. I totally recognize that Medicare and Medicaid both sound similar, and it definitely sounds weird. You will very rarely encounter somebody that has Medicaid, extremely rarely. Just know that whenever you do speak with someone on Medicaid, they do not qualify for Medicare. You can rewatch this and see this again, but they just do not. So if someone's on Medicaid, we cannot help them. A better way to remember the people we can help is just to remember the people that we can help, because we can't help anybody else besides someone that has an F, a G, or an N. So if someone has Medicaid, I'm sorry, ma'am, have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. Like, that's it. You can offer them dental if you want, but usually they're too broke to buy dental. So,
Exactly.
all right. So that's Medicaid. Oh, here's one. I just don't feel comfortable saying this information over the phone.
Yep.
I don't feel comfortable. I just don't. Bye.
I don't give out my email.
I don't give out that. I don't give out this information over the phone.
Right.
So, that's one that we get. And so whenever we do that, we got to make it tangible for them. So there's one of two things we can do. If this is somebody that you identified that has a Medicare supplement already, then spend more time. If it's somebody that, you're not sure if they have a Medicare supplement, they're just giving you a hard time, you don't need to take their crap. But basically what I'm looking for you to say here is, hey, I understand. We don't want you to give that information up over the phone. You cushion the objection. Hey, I understand. Or you can say, hey, I understand. I know it must be weird giving away your information over the phone. All we're trying to do is give you information
Yes.
on the same plan you have for a lower rate. Is there a good email address where our licensed Medicare specialist can send you some information about lower rates available in your area? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, we want to make it tangible. So basically, we want to prove it to them that we're legit. And if you can get their email, I got a lot of nice pretty videos I can send them of just saying, hey, my name's CJ Westfall. Thanks for looking at this email. A lot of people are overpaying on their coverage. We can help you save money. Just click the link below and give me a call. And then once they see the video, they feel so much freaking better. So if they're timid, just say, hey, we don't want, or you can just say it like this. Hey, we understand that giving your information over the phone is very scary. You could say that. I gave you 3 options to choose from to cushion it. We understand that it could be very scary giving your information over the phone. We're just trying to give you information about the same plan you already have for a lower rate, because we work with Aetna, Cigna, Omaha, and every company in the state of Texas that offers the same plan that you currently have now. We could save you $80 per month. What is your email? We'll send this information. There's no obligations. This is all free. What is your email address? We will shoot this information over to you. I think it's very, very important that you see this information from our licensed Medicare specialist. So however the hell you got to say it, use any of that. Obviously, I'm talking too much, but I'm just giving you a lot of things to come back with. You think I
No, that's
include
good.
anything?
No, just qualifying. That's right.
Right. I don't feel comfortable saying this over the phone. Not interested. This is my favorite one. Not interested. Click. So some stupid people, really stupid people, will hear what you say not interested, and click. And if they knew what was best for them, they would stay on the phone and listen to you, because you know more about Medicare now than they do. You know more after this 20-minute conversation about Medicare and how it works and how the rates are going up and the agents and all that. You now know more about Medicare than they do. So it is in their best interest to listen to you. And that is the attitude that you need to bring to each call, is that I'm calling somebody to help somebody that they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're doing. They might be a little confused. But I know if I send this over, as a lead, then I might be able to make an impact on this person's day. So basically, if someone says they're not interested, I always come back and I say, ma'am, you're not interested in the same plan you already have for a lower rate? I'm like, what? Ma'am, it's the same coverage for a lower rate. So I make it into one sentence. And I make it into a question. Ma'am, you're not interested in the same coverage for a low rate? Ma'am, you're not interested in lowering your rate on the same coverage? However you want to do it. You're not interested in saving money on the same plan you already have? I'm using different words, but I'm saying the same thing. You get the point. You just come back really quickly. And the point of the rebuttal is to know that they are going to say it already and already have a prepared response. Right. So ladies, I've pretty much gone through all the rebuttals that I wanted to cover with you today. If you can please promise me to rewatch this annoying video of my ass rambling to you about this. Please rewatch this before tomorrow. I want to make sure you understand these rebuttals and are not caught off guard. I don't want you to ever feel weird on the phone where you don't know what to say. So if you just stick to these rebuttals that I gave you, you will feel comfortable on the phone. Don't let these people push you around. And this is what I told Christina when she first started working for me. In sales and in Medicare and insurance, we have to do a lot of empathizing with these people. But what I don't want you to do is take anybody's shit. Don't take anybody's shit. And this is really an important thing that you guys need to understand. A lot of people are just going to raise their voice, or they'll say something nasty. I laugh at them, but for you guys who maybe it doesn't matter to you either, but sometimes after a while, it starts to eat at you. If you want, you can, to these people that are mean to you, you can say whatever you want if you think that conversation is going nowhere. What I would prefer you to do is hang up on them immediately if you have identified that they are somebody that is not going to be receptive to what you have to say. If someone's saying, oh, I already know, they're raising their voice at you, yelling at you, they are already a angry person enough. They're an angry person before the phone call. They're not angry at you. They're not angry because of your call. They're not angry because you asked them to lower the rate. They're angry because they are an angry person in their life. Do you understand now? So don't, when they're angry with you on the phone, that's not you, that's them. You're doing the right thing. You're doing a really good thing, a great service. You guys are a part of a really awesome business now. So, an awesome team, yeah. So the point is that I really want you to understand these objections are smoke screens, and basically they think that they don't want to do this because it's a hassle. And if you just make sure that they know, hey, it's real easy, he'll give you a call in 5-10 minutes, and we'll find out in 5 seconds whether or not you're paying too much for the same coverage. Man, there's 35 companies out there. Does your agent have all 35 companies, or does he just work with one company? You know what I mean? Like, that's just another random tidbit, but that's definitely something so that you can come back with. So remember, if they're mean to you, it's not because anything you did. It's simply because they already have boring, miserable lives, and they're simply trying to take that out on you. So if they're mean, hang up. You can, if you want to curse at them. But, sometimes I do just to blow off steam. But I just like to hang up on them because that negativity adds up. And there's only so much garbage you can take in a day. And I don't want you to take in garbage. I want you ladies to just hang up the phone as soon as you hear somebody being negative with you. If it's something that you don't think you can turn around. If it's any of these objections, I don't want to change, I'm fine. Who are you calling with? I don't need any more insurance. I'm good with my plan. I'm not interested. I don't feel comfortable. Those are objections we can win. We win those. But if it's something like, don't ever call here again, just hang up on the phone. You know what pisses them off more than anything is when you hang up on them in the middle of their sentence lecturing you. If they're lecturing you, hang up on them in the middle of their sentence so they're talking to themselves and they feel like an idiot. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is not a job where we're here to take shit. This is a job where we're here to help seniors that are getting ripped off by insurance companies. And the fact is, they are getting ripped off. The insurance companies are laughing themselves to the bank. You guys know about this. Insurance companies are the richest of the businesses in the world. They own everything. They insure everything because they always find a way to win for themselves. All we do is represent all of them so we can make the little guy win. And we can play the insurance companies against each other so the little guy wins. We work for you, ma'am. We don't work for the insurance companies. We represent all of them so we can be your personal broker. We can work for you. So that is the difference between us and every other slime ball that's out there that has done Medicare. We take the time to study this stuff. So anyways, I'm going to stop being so aggressive. But that's the tone I use with these people. When they're aggressive with me, I just bring it right back at them. Is there any questions that you guys have right now about objections, rebuttals, or potential objections that I did not bring up?
Oh, I actually do.
Yep.
Whenever the customer asks if where are you located, so what would be the address? Yeah.
Perfect. So this one is we're going to do a wink and a smile. So Cornerstone Wealth Advisory Group is located in Summerville, South Carolina. Yep. That's it.
All right, thank you.
So Cornerstone Wealth Advisory Group is located in Summerville, South Carolina. I always flip that around because I call a bunch of different states, and they're super far from me. They're just as far from me as you are from them. I'll call people in California. I have clients there with a former agency I was with, and they'd be like, "Where are you calling from?" And I'd say, "I'm sitting here in beautiful Charleston, South Carolina. You ever been over here before?" So you can say, "We're calling from Summerville." You can say, "Cornerstone is in Summerville, South Carolina. You ever been to South Carolina before?" So just ask them if they've ever been to South Carolina before, and they will immediately forget about the question they just asked. I promise. They're so thought by thought. None of their thought process are thought through, but our thought processes are thought through. So just be like, "Hey, Cornerstone is located in Summerville, South Carolina. Have you ever been to South Carolina before?" And they'll say, "Oh no, ha ha ha." And then you'll say, "Oh, okay, yep, but that's where we're located. So anyways, we can give you a call, blah blah blah." You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So any other good objections? That was a good one.
Yeah, I usually get the objection whenever they confirm where you're located and it's not within their state. They said, "Oh, you can't help me. I'll just deal with somebody who is here locally."
Who's here locally? Perfect. So that is a
Yeah.
really, really good one that you will get from time to time. Oh, you're not here. I'll deal with someone locally. Well, sir, here's what you can say. So I'm going to introduce you to a new one that I probably should have I've mentioned before. So this falls under the category of I already have someone that takes care of that.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, you're not going to get the I'm already going to get someone locally. You're not going to get that response as much with over 65s as you do with turning 65s. Because with turning 65s, they're like, okay, cool, you're going to help me? Got it. Okay, and then you go through, and they're like, wait, you're not even here? I'm just going to go with someone local. That's when you get the local objection. With this, you will not get them as much, Ema, I promise. Because they just want someone that's going to provide value to them. Now, if you do get it, you just need to remind them of your value. Well, you could go with the local agent, ma'am, but most local agents only work with one out of the 35 insurance companies in your state. We represent all 35 insurance companies in the state, Aetna, Cigna, Blue Cross, AARP, so that we can be an unbiased broker and give you the information from every company to find the best price. So basically the pitch is we represent every company and your local agent only represents one. And the fact is, all these local agents, it's the truth, they only represent one company. They usually only work with Blue Cross or only work with AARP, and we can beat their prices 100% of the time. So you might not win this one, Ema, if they're too scared, but the winning argument is, well, ma'am, you could go with him, but he only represents one company, whereas we represent every company in the state. We work with every company in the state. And this company, Cornerstone, they really do. So that's a good question. Is there any other ones? That was a good one.
CJ,
Yes.
the SHIP program.
The state health
They would
insurance.
say, they would say, I check my rates with the SHIP program every year.
Right. And that's very rare. That's the people in Ohio or
Yeah.
in Iowa that always said that to you.
Yeah.
The SHIP program's very big in Iowa. It's not big in any of the states these gals will be calling in.
Okay.
I won't. They don't. It's not the SHIP program's not very big here in South Carolina. That's where they're going to start for the first few weeks, and then we're going to get into other states as Cornerstone grows. Cornerstone is trying to learn how to sell over the phone the way I do, so that they can sell in other states. So that's basically what's going on here. So don't worry about the SHIP thing. Basically,
Okay.
state health assistance. I forget what it stands for. State health information. Basically, all it is, it's a government liaison or a government employee that just says, "Hey, I think you should do this," but they're not licensed professionals that actually represent all the companies. They're just a government employee. So I really don't think you'll come across that. We come across that a lot in a particular state that we work in. However, Cornerstone will not be working in that state of Iowa anytime soon. We're good to go. Is there anything else, Christina, that you think that needs to be covered in this session before I turn the recording off?
That's about it.
Okay, I'm going to turn the recording off, and now we're